Okay, what's good? It is my black opinion here, and today I'm really going to be talking about if the black community is actually worth saving, and if so, how we could actually save it. Now, personally, all my life, you could even see it in the YouTube section, the YouTube comments. You could tell that even my own people attack me, my homie. The same brothers who I'm trying to support, the same brothers who I'm trying to really do well for, they're trying to attack. It's like being in a relationship with a girl who has all of these different issues, and you're trying to help this girl, right? And she's insulting you, calling you a bitch every single day. How are you gonna feel about somebody who doesn't really appreciate you? Would you wanna help that individual? And here's the problem here, man. Here's the problem here with the black community. Like, I see a ton of different black people going to these black schools and everything like that, trying to help out, trying to support all of these black students. And these black students are freaking throwing goddamn paper balls at these motherfuckers and tomatoes at these motherfuckers. It's like we try to go ahead and we try to help the black community. We try to tell people what's on the other side. We try to tell these people, look, maybe you should get out of the hood. We try to tell these people about higher education, and it's like these homies don't even take us seriously. These homies don't take us seriously, and then all of a sudden they're mad that we're not giving back. We have this type of persona. We have this type of idea in the black community that just because you're black, once you make it out of the hood, you gotta give back to them. You gotta give back to the people who honestly never appreciated you when you were in the hood to begin with. The same people who would steal from you. The same people who would talk shit about you when you left the hood. And so I'm just thinking, damn, why the fuck do I need to support the black community? When was it our job to support you? When was it our job to support a grown-ass man or grown-ass woman who has free will to make it out the hood on their own? Nobody said you didn't have the opportunity to go to college, to go to trade school, to get a skill. You still have the opportunity to do that kind of thing. Especially if you live in poverty, the entire state is trying to help people out in poverty. They ain't trying to help the middle class. They ain't trying to help the high class. At the end of the day, my homie, why are you asking for a handout from rich people, rich individuals who worked for their money, worked for everything that they had, and then you want us to give to you? What the hell did you give to us? A lot of these homies are the same homies who take and take and take and take from the government, and take from their husband, their ex-husband, take from the people who are working hard for the money that they make. I mean, we already have all of these free government programs, these free government handouts, and y'all still want, when a homie becomes successful, you want another black man to give to you and give all the money to your pockets? Bro, you have the free will to get out of the hood. You have the free will to get out of the hood. You can get into real estate. You could get into real estate. You could get into trade school. You could get into college. You could do all of these different things. Nobody in the world is telling you that you can't do this type of thing. You should really feel ashamed for wanting handouts or even asking for handouts from another brother or another sister in the black community. Because when I was in the black community, they weren't acting like I was their brother. They weren't acting like I was their homie, right? You know what they said? They said that I talked white. They said that I acted white. What the hell would I want to give back to these types of people? Either way, here's the thing. When you try to give back, even when you do give back, they do not give a flying fuck. The same niggas who claim, you want to give back? Why don't you give back to the hood? You give them money, they'll spend that shit on fucking Jordan. They'll spend that shit on fucking Gucci. They won't spend that shit on motherfucking real estate. You feel me? At the end of the day, man, I could see the resentment. I could see why Michael Jordan doesn't give back to the world. Because he worked his fucking ass off to earn every single thing that he has today. And who said that you have the right to his money, to his paper? What the fuck did you do to work hard? Make your own money. Make your own paper. Make your own destiny. But at the end of the day, let's talk about how we could actually give back to the black community, how we could actually fix the black community. See, we don't just live in a social problem. We live in an economic problem. Let's talk about what's actually really holding down the black community and the small things that we could actually fix to actually make the black community better. Because apparently all of these democratic cities like Detroit and Chicago and freaking Cranston and all of these cities full of black people that are just being burnt down, they're not working. The Democrats ain't working, okay? They are destroying these cities. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Let's actually get into what we could do to help the black community. Right, number one, we need to remove these government-funded programs that incentivize women to not be in a relationship with a man. Okay? And the reason why is because the family unit is the basic building blocks to a healthy society. See, you wonder why all of these homies, these crazy homies, these shooters, these motherfucking, these shooters, these gang members, these drug dealers are running around all in Detroit because they don't have a father figure in their life to put them in fucking place. You know why I didn't want to do drugs and do all this type of shit when I was little? Because my dad would beat my motherfucking ass if I did. Came home high, my dad will smack me in the fucking face. And he has every single right to do that shit. These child support programs, number one, it is destroying relationships between fathers and sons. It is incentivizing women to live single, to live these promiscuous lifestyles, and just be miserable, my nigga, because we need almost every person on earth wants a relationship, wants something that is incentivized, wants a man or a woman in their life. I would say, man, remove all of this child support bullshit. You want to raise your own kid on your own, you get a motherfucking job, all right? The more that we remove these programs, the less taxes we need to pay. I see cities like Detroit, the taxes are through the motherfucking roof. The less taxes, the less money is going to be removed from your motherfucking check when you're at your motherfucking job. The less, money that's going to be removed when you get a house. So boom, I mean, that's more money for you right there, all right? Removing all of these stupid programs. Child support, alimony, all of these programs, they separate families, the basic units, the basic building blocks for society, the basic building blocks for a healthy family, a healthy environment. We live in a society in the black community where like 70% of black women are single mothers. And they're incentivized to be single mothers because why not, right? Why not? Men are the breadwinners. Now we have the government that's the breadwinner, right? Chick could ass rape you for everything that you have. It's not a fair power dynamic when it comes to, the black community. So remove all these government programs. Now we got an incentive. We got an incentive to have a family unit. A family unit, okay? And when you have a family unit, when you got a man and a woman in the household, you have less gang members, you got less crime, you got less things that could happen. Now, the next thing I would do is to lower minimum wage. Now, you're probably looking at me like I'm crazy. You're probably looking at me like, yo, my black opinion, why would you want to lower minimum wage? Think about it like this. The less money that businesses are required to pay their employees, more people who are going to be hired. Understand that idle time is the devil's workshop. When you ain't got nothing to do, when you're bored, when you got nothing to do at all, my homie, when you're in the house, when you're out in these streets, when you come home from school and there ain't nothing going on, incentivizes people to do the wrong things, make the wrong decisions, do all of these different things. When you got minimum wage, let's say you got minimum wage 100, let's keep it extreme. $100 is minimum wage. How in the fuck are businesses going to want to hire tons and tons and tons of different people when minimum wage is so goddamn high? See, the more that we lower minimum wage, the more jobs there's going to be. People got this tripping. People are tripping up when it comes to this kind of. The less minimum wage is, and you can check out the South. Look at the South, okay? The less minimum wage is, the less housing is going to be. Let's say minimum wage is $5 $5, right? My homie, there could be jobs that are $5. I'll tell you, that's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap labor, right? But there still could be jobs that are $7. There still could be jobs that are $10. There could still be jobs that are $12. All right? Housing is way cheaper because minimum wage is cheaper. So, since housing is lower in price, you could legitimately, honestly, you could be working at Best Buy making $11-12 an hour, even if minimum wage is $5 an hour. You know what I mean? And employees could hire people for $5. There's still going to be jobs that are going to offer you $10, $11, $12 an hour for what you do. So now you're going to have cheaper housing prices. You know what I mean? And you're going to have, you're going to have cheaper housing prices, and you're going to have higher opportunity growth for getting a job. Mad people are going to get jobs. Everybody's going to get a job if we just lower minimum wage. The cool thing is, the less likely it is for you to get a job, my homie, the more people are going to go ahead and... Yo, you're sleeping right now, aren't you? The more people are going to go to drug dealing. The more people are going to go to selling their body on the street. The more people are going to be doing gang shit. You know why? Because that's the only thing that they could do. If you can't get a job, what are you going to do? How are you going to get out of the fucking hood? How are you going to get a car to get to work? Like, what are you going to do when there's no business around? Because guess what? Minimum wage is so fucking high that no business can motherfucking survive in the economy. And they're just hiring the motherfucking elites instead of the average American worker. So once you're able to build a family, because we don't have all of this government bullshit, all this government shit everywhere. Once we actually start, building, because we don't, as a, two people, a couple, and all that type of shit, because you ain't gonna get no support if you have a motherfucking baby alone. Okay, you ain't gonna get no government assistance if you have a baby. You gotta work for your shit. You ain't getting no free housing. Gonna incentivize families. Mad people could get jobs at that point. Housing is gonna be cheaper at that point. Now, there may be a good amount of jobs offering $5 an hour, but there still could be a good amount of jobs, for $10 an hour. Now people can move out. They could build families now, because guess what? Housing isn't high as a bitch. People are gonna be incentivized to have families. And next, I would say, bruh, no more abortion clinics. Alright, no more abortion clinics. Because at the end of the day, my homie, having rampant promiscuity, my homie, it destroys yourself. It brings more STDs to the black community. It brings more, babies to the black community from fathers who people don't even know, and all this type of shit. We're not gonna give women all this power, my homie. We gotta take away the power. If we want a balanced society, we need balanced power in our society. Now, so that's the economic thing, all right. Lower minimum wage, get these abortion clinics out of here. Get all of these freaking government funded programs out of here. Taxes will go down tremendously. Housing will be cheap as fuck. There's gonna be more, opportunities for jobs. Honestly, you could probably open up factories. There used to be factories, I think, in Detroit. I think it was Detroit. In Detroit, there was factories fucking everywhere. We could open factories in America. And since minimum wage is so goddamn cheap, we could have all of these different workers working in factories. In fact, if you wanted to move out and you had a few friends, you can now move out and you have a few friends. You know what I mean? Even if you were making $5 an hour and the other person was making $5 an hour, combined $10 an hour, housing is cheap as fuck. you could literally move out at probably 18 if you really want to. And you know, in liberal communities, you can't even do that anymore. So let's move on. That's the economic challenge. That's the shit that's going on. The economic bullshit that's going on. Challenge me. I don't really give a fuck. But that's what I think that we should fucking do. Apparently, what's working, what they're doing right now, isn't working. Now, so listen. What we gotta do if we want to really save the black community, we gotta get kids while they're young. Alright, we gotta get kids while they're fucking young. Ain't nobody going to church anymore. So, if you really want to change the black community, my homie, you gotta really impact the minds of young, impressionable kids and probably younger teenagers. I would say kids, because teenagers, they ain't gonna listen to you. So, you really gotta plant the seed in the minds of these children at a young age. Listen, I think the best thing that you could do is to really go to schools, like elementary schools, you know, just elementary schools all over the United States, and let these homies know at a young age. Listen, Sally. Listen, Sally. It is okay to have a family. I know it is in your DNA to want to have a family, and that is okay. It is not okay to sleep around. It is not okay to become a single mother. It is not okay. Little Sally, I need you to hear this right now, that your purpose, or the best thing that you could do, is to be a mother. To be a mother to your children, and to love those children. And I see you, little Sally. I see you playing with those dolls. I see you playing with Barbie and Ken, black Barbie and Ken. You got to keep it black black Barbie and Ken and shit. And listen, you want this, you got to go at this at the smart way. I don't care what society is telling you. Go ahead and find a good man. Find a good man that cares about you. Okay, Sally? And then you got to go to little Tavon, my homie, and tell Tavon, look, my homie, if you really want a good woman, bruh, look, you got to provide. All right, you got to be a strong man. You got to be somebody who has the money and the resources. You got to have emotional stability, my homie. You are strong. You are a warrior. You are somebody who is going to do great things in this world. This is what we need to do. We got to go ahead and go to these schools. Go at it young. We got to influence these kids while they are young. Because guess what? In the black community, their parents ain't gonna tell them shit. Their parents ain't gonna tell them shit. You know what I mean? A lot of these single mothers, bruh, they are the worst influences on their kids possible. Now, we as black people, we have to go to these kids at a young age and say, look, my homie, I'm gonna tell you about real estate. I'm gonna tell you how to get the fuck out of the. I'm gonna tell you how to get the fuck out of here. All right? I'm gonna tell you how to get the fuck out of here. That's what I think you should tell the teenagers. Kids, you just need to go ahead and let them know the basics of how to be a good person in this generation. For the teenagers, you gotta, for the dudes, you gotta be a little bit more like concrete. So, yo, you know what, little Rodney, I'm gonna tell you about real estate. All right, I'm gonna tell you what these rich white people are doing to get the fuck out of bad situations. I'm gonna tell you how these homies are getting rich. I'm gonna tell you this is specifically how you're gonna do it. And you got to take them out under your wing and say, look, this is how we're going to do this shit. You know what I mean? Now, that's how you build up, because obviously nothing's going to happen in this generation. The only thing that could work is to build up people's mindsets for the next generation, and build and you know, make people think differently. With all of these different influences, these negative influences, it's going to be hard for a lot of different people. You got to be a leader for the children. This is what the media is attacking, the children. This is what the people are coming for, the children. So you got to counter that shit with what is right and instill these values into the kids, because these parents ain't doing that shit. Either A, the fathers ain't there. B, the fathers might be creeps, my nigga. C, this is like a new dichotomy nowadays. The fathers might be pussy and they ain't strong enough to instill values in their, or beat their kids or do any of that shit. So if you really want to help a society from a structural standpoint, you got to mentor them as kids. Period. Because once you're an adult, I mean, your mind is set about how you're living. And what happens is, if you try to tell an adult how to live, they're going to see that as a challenge. They're not going to see you as a role model. They're going to see that as a challenge, man. So at the end of the day, I mean, we got feminism coming for the kids 24/7, saying, little black girl, it's okay to be a hoe, and all that type of shit. We got to counter that in the black community, and it all starts with, I think, just schools and the economic background of this. I think also maybe, one thing that could really help is, introducing kids to new industries. All right, so maybe business owners. All right, there might be some black business owners. Honestly, I think, here's the thing, it's like, black people want to be ballers, and they want to be rappers, and they want to be actors. But I think that's really because, number one, it's just like, it seems like it's the only thing that we're kind of exposed to. And here's the thing, I'm not gonna go against a black man who wants to be a rapper, or a black man who wants to be a baller, because that might be something that he's good at. That might be something that he's really into. That might be his fucking dream. But it's good to expose kids to a lot of different avenues in life. In the black community, we're really all just exposed to, be a rapper, be a baller, this is the thing that's kind of respected in the black community. If you ain't no thug, you seen as fucking weak, my nigga. I think it's very important, in life, to have a little bit of swag, have a little bit of charisma, be a little bit charming, and that's cool, my homie. But we got to teach also these black women that a man is more than swag. A man is more than swag. You got to really control yourself and say, look, it ain't just all about swag. You can't be just giving your body to anybody just because of swag. Homie needs to be committed to you. Committed to you. This person needs to be your either longtime boyfriend or your longtime husband before you even think about doing all that type of shit. And it's not because of conservative values. It's just like, look, if you get pregnant, my homie, and this homie isn't the person who he says he is, nigga, you're literally fucked, and you're fucked. You got to deal with the consequences and the emotional damage of either A, having to abort your child, or having to raise that motherfucker on his own. And then the son or the daughter, I feel like it's abusive to raise your son or your daughter in a household where no man is there. Opening just up a giant can of worms to predators, to sick people. I mean, the woman she can't defend herself like that. So it all starts with kids while they're young. All right? And people are just like, oh, yo, you're indoctrinating and all that type of shit. Look, listen. Teaching kids how to live an optimal type of life that is healthy is not indoctrination. It's telling them how to be a better human being in general. I feel like indoctrination is telling people some emotionally based ideology that could potentially destroy their life. feminist indoctrination, like all of these different types of indoctrinations. Since we don't have religion in society anymore, we gotta pick up the building blocks and say, hey, even if you ain't religious, this is the building blocks to live a highly more effective life. And here's the thing, man. It's like we're now opening up to a point in time where people are exploring different types of relationships and different types of ways to live their lives. Like, yo, if I want to be a player, let me be a player. This is who I am. I'm a player. If I want to be a polyamory, then I want to be polyamory, bruh. I don't care, my G. It's just, this isn't building up society. This player shit is destroying these women, my nigga. It's making these niggas into dogs, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. Alright? If you really want to have a good black community, like decent black community, we're done with the player shit. We're done with the hoe shit. We're done with experimenting with shit. Alright? This used to, like, what we had back in the day was an optimal version of society. We ain't doing no exploring, because all of this exploring shit is just making a worse version of society. What we had before, my nigga, was in the best shit that we could get. The majority of people having family, the best that we could get, in my humble opinion. So that's how I feel like we could really build up black society. I know that I was all over the place. I'm jumbling all that shit. And yeah, but at the end of the day, my nigga, if I go to a school, right, and I talk to these individuals and I talk to these youth and they laugh at me, my nigga, I swear to God, I'm not helping these motherfuckers, because I'm way too busy in my life to be doing shit for anybody. But I ain't helping these motherfuckers. I am not helping these motherfuckers. But if they're willing to listen, if they're willing to take my words and apply it to their life, I will continue. If I really wanted to be an activist, I would continue to go to schools and do what the fuck I need to do. But look, you better be motherfucking open, because I am not chasing you down to tell you how to live a better life. Point blank, period. I'm not gonna dedicate my motherfucking life to people who do not appreciate the fucking shit that I have to say. Point blank, motherfucking, period. So that's all I really want to say. That's how I feel like we could actually help the black community. And I really hope that you have a nice day. This is my black opinion, and peace.